What is the weirdest fact you know? Woodpeckers' tongues wrap around their brain to cushion them from a concussion when they peck against tree trunks. Cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, kale, Brussels sprouts, collard greens, Savoy cabbage, kohlrabi, and galen are all the same species of plant. *BRASSICAOLERACEA*, just bred to enhance different parts of the plant. Frederick Bohr, the inventor of the Pringles can, is buried in one. Most of the camels of Saudi Arabia are imported from Australia. We don't really know who the inventor of the fire hydrant is, because the patent was destroyed in a fire. Volkswagen makes a currywurst, and it has its own original part number. #199, 398, 500A. There was a genetic bottleneck in standard poodles starting in the 1950s. A kennel called the Wycliffe Kennel Linnered exceptional show dogs which became highly sought after as studs. Even today, many standard poodles carry a substantial percentage from this line, which traces back to just 5 dogs. A fungi grows next to the highly radioactive elephant's foot in the Chernobyl reactor. It feeds off the gamma rays emitted by the nuclear fuel in a process known as radiosynthesis. If you were exposed to similar levels of radiation, you would have a lethal dose in 3 minutes. Sloths can hold their breath longer than dolphins can. The man who invented the Match.com website lost his wife to a man she met on Match.com. Titanic was fitted with microphones for receiving underwater bell signals. With this system, the sound of submarine bells was received through the hull of the vessel. Submarine bells, used as fog signals, were located on lightships, at lighthouses, and even on some specially equipped buoys. They were actuated by electric signals, compressed air, or simply by wave motion. Titanic had 2 submarine microphones on her hull, one on each side. These were the ears of the ship. By switching between the port and starboard microphones and comparing the volume of the bells, the navigation officer could determine the direction to the navigation aid. Sound travels much further through water than through air. These bells could be heard over 15 miles away through the headset. A pretty cool way of navigating at a time when GPS and radar didn't yet exist. When male honeybees orgasm, their penises explode with a pop, audible to human ears. Doorknobs that are made out of brass can disinfect itself in about 8 hours. Koalas have fingerprints that are very close to human fingerprints. There apparently have been several break-ins in Australia by the same person based off fingerprint evidence. Turned out to be a koala that was responsible for all of these. If you want to paint a violin red, you have to use an aphthol or pyrrole red, as a cadmium red pigment is too heavy and will alter the sound. It takes 3 full rotations of a head to fully take it off. Human head. An average storm cloud weighs about 47,627,199 kilograms. The spinal cord has the consistency of a ripe banana. When caterpillars make their chrysalises, they don't just grow wings and change, they dissolve completely into goo which then reforms into the butterfly. Better yet, if you train the caterpillars to dislike certain stimuli, the resulting butterflies retain that memory and will avoid the same stimuli. Anglerfish mate by the male biting the female's abdomen. Over time, the male is absorbed and linked to the female's circulatory system, while the male basically *melts* into a parasite-looking growth that is actually nothing but testicles which the female will use when she's ready. Weird enough for you? Tapirs' penises are not only very large relative to body length, but they are also prehensile, that is, they can grip and grab. The weight of all of ants on the planet is equal to the weight of all humans on the planet. Great white sharks have never been seen mating, ever, by anyone. 0 record made by a human. Strange considering what a mighty presence they have on humans. Edit, they've never observed them giving birth either. Thanks folks for the info. Edit, the mating hath commenced. Thanks fellow redditor. Whilst still not officially observed in the scientific community, there has been an account from a fisherman. Edit, To everyone asking why we can't just put sharks in a tank and observe, no. Great whites are worth more than our curiosity. They have a level of force and mystique that sees them belong only to the ocean. It's been attempted, and they lose their minds very quickly. They're the result of millions of years of predatory evolution, an absolute predator. We will observe only when in the right circumstance at the right time, which is in the wild, in the ocean. The Iron Maiden was never a torture device. Some archaeologist a couple hundred years ago just found an old metal coffin that happened to have metal spikes by it, and he just assumed that the spikes belonged on the door of the coffin. A whale's fart bubble is so big that you could fit a Volkswagen inside of it. The fart bubble, not the whale. Most runestones erected by Norsemen were erected by Christians, and they are often decorated with Christian crosses. Runic writing also continued for centuries after conversion, so it's not uncommon to see things like God help his soul on runestones. It might not be so weird if one's intimately familiar with the topic, but I think a lot of people just seem to associate runic writing with paganism. If it was not for some gut bacteria, we would fart in colors. The first American film to drop an F-bomb was M***S***H**. I just heard this one on No Such Thing as a Fish, so I don't know if it's true. But apparently if you play Tetris for 20 minutes within 6 hours after a traumatic car accident, you'll be 62% less likely to have PTSD-like memories of the event. Moose can dive up to 30 feet underwater to eat vegetation growing there when above ground is covered in snow. That divider at grocery stores that separates stuff on the conveyor belt is called a spratchet. If you type Illuminati backwards on your search bar, along with .com, itanimally.com, it'll take you straight to the NSA website. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the author of **Sherlock Holmes*, published a book in 1922 about how fairies are real, based on some pictures of fairies deemed authentic by an expert. Edit. Well, RIP my inbox. Now my book of useless information is 2/2 for getting me the most upvoted comments. The noises the raptors made in Jurassic Park were actually turtles fucking. You put yogurt in someone's butthole to speed up decomposition. Wombats poop in cubes, then use the poop cubes to build little walls. That there was a NASA funded project in the 60s to teach dolphins to speak English, which managed to involve giving a dolphin hand jobs and LSD. The CIA spent nearly 5 years and $10 million to make a covered spy cat with implanted microphones to eavesdrop on the Soviets. It was run over and killed by a car on its back. First mission. Let's see, the world's shortest war was over in 38 minutes. The longest war was over 300 years. The reason banana flavored candy doesn't taste like bananas is because the banana we eat today is not the same as the one the flavor was created to mimic. Edit. After several comments have pointed it out, I did some research. It appears that the banana fact I shared isn't accurate. However, I'm leaving it because it triggered some wonderful discussions on different banana varieties, including Cavendish and Gros Michel, that was worth the time. The skin between muscle and fat is called fascia and looks like a cobweb when pulled from those sections. Edit. By skin I mean connective tissue.